Okay, imagine this with me for a second. You're on a long road trip, driving through the countryside, and all you see for miles and miles are cows.
Brown cows, black and white cows, they're everywhere.
Exactly. And after the first few, your brain just sort of tunes them out. They become part of the background, just, wallpaper.
Utterly forgettable.
But then, all of a sudden, you see it. A purple cow.
Whoa!
You'd slam on the brakes, right? You would absolutely have to take a picture, and you'd definitely tell someone about it later. That image, that's the whole idea we're digging into today.
It is. We're looking at excerpts from Seth Godin's book, Purple Cow.
Yeah.
And it's a work that basically took the old marketing rule book and just threw it out the window.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the 5 core principles from the book that explain why so many businesses are, well, invisible, and what you can do about it.
And the central idea is so simple, but it flips everything on its head. The problem isn't your ad budget. It's not your agency. The problem is that what you're selling, it just isn't worth talking about.
And if you can get this right, the payoff is huge. It creates what he calls pricing power. When you're the purple cow, people seek you out. Price becomes a secondary thought because there's nothing else to compare you to.
You're not a commodity anymore. You're a destination.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The first principle is really the heart of the whole thing.
It is. Principle number 1 is the mandate. Be remarkable or be invisible.
And we need to be really clear on what remarkable means here. It's not just like high quality.
Not at all. Remarkable literally means worth making a remark about. Something worth noticing, worth talking about. In a world with infinite choice, just being good is a guarantee that you'll be ignored.
Because our brains are just wired to filter out the boring stuff, the ads we skip, the emails we delete.
Exactly. A remarkable product, on the other hand, it markets itself. People talk about it. It grows because of curiosity and word of mouth, not because you're shouting the loudest. It's about being better at being different.
So let's make this real. Imagine 2 coffee shops. The Brown Cow coffee shop has good coffee, nice service, it's competent.
It's fine, but it's forgettable. The owner is probably spending thousands on local ads just to remind people they exist.
Okay, now the Purple Cow coffee shop, they take that ad money and instead they do something weird. Let's say every single coffee comes with a hand-drawn cartoon doodle of the customer on the cup.
That's a great one. It's maybe a little inefficient. It takes extra time.
But I'm 100% taking a picture of that and putting it on Instagram.
And that's it. The doodle is the marketing. That's the whole point. If you ignore this, you're just stuck trying to find clever ways to advertise a boring product. You're just mooing louder. And it's a losing game.
Which leads us right into the second principle, and this is a big mental hurdle for a lot of people. It's the idea that safe is risky.
This one is so counterintuitive, but it's probably the most important lesson. Our instinct is to play it safe, right? Copy the market leader, stick to best practices.
But Godin's argument is that playing it safe is the fastest way to become invisible.
It is. And I can almost hear the pushback, but if I try something crazy and it fails, my business is over. Right.
But here's how you have to reframe risk. Playing it safe forces you to compete on price because you're just like everyone else. And competing on price is a slow, painful death for any business. That's the real risk.
Whereas taking a creative risk.
You either fail fast, you learn, and you pivot, or you succeed spectacularly. The real tragedy isn't failing. It's spending 5 years building something safe that nobody ever even noticed. Boring is the most dangerous strategy of all.
Okay, so let's take an online course. The safe approach is to create video modules, worksheets, copy the format of every other course out there.
Very good, but totally unremarkable. But the risky approach, the Purple Cow, maybe it's a course with 0 video. Instead, it's just a daily challenge sent to your phone via text message. That's it.
Wow, okay. Some people would hate that.
Some would, but the people who are tired of screen time and just want to take action, they would become absolute evangelists. They'd tell everyone. The risk itself becomes the reason people talk about it. Comfort is the enemy here. So if we're going to be remarkable, and we accept that it means taking risks, then the question becomes, who are we doing this for? This leads to principle number 3. Target the sneezers.
Yes, not all customers are equal. A sneezer is Godin's term for that person who gets so excited about your idea that they can't help but spread it to everyone they know. They're your viral engine.
And the big mistake is trying to appeal to the average person, the middle of the market.
The absolute worst group to design for. The middle of the market is satisfied with good enough. They don't spread ideas. The sneezers, the early adopters, the enthusiasts, their recommendations are what create momentum,
So one sneezer is worth what, 100 regular customers?
at least. Because their voice is trusted and it amplifies your message for free, this means you have to design the product specifically for them, even if it alienates the average user.
Let's talk about a productivity app. The mass market version is simple, easy to use, nothing controversial.
Right. But the sneezer-focused app, it's designed for the power users. It might be more complex, have a steeper learning curve, loads of customization. It might actually overwhelm a casual user.
But those power users will write blog posts about it. They'll make videos. They will preach the gospel of your app in their communities.
And they do your marketing for you. If you aim for the middle, you have to sand off all the interesting edges, the very things the sneezers would have talked about. You're left with something bland that you have to pour money into advertising.
Which brings us to another one of those painful truths. Principle 4, very good, is boring.
This one really stings for high achievers because we're taught that the opposite of remarkable is bad. But it's not.
It's very good.
Exactly. Very good is the enemy. It's competent, it's professional, it's polished, and it's completely and utterly invisible. People don't stop a conversation to talk about something that was just very good.
They talk about the thing that was weird or flawed but fascinating or just different.
Think about a business newsletter. The very good one is professional, balanced, well-written. Nobody unsubscribes, but nobody forwards it either.
But the remarkable one.
It has a strong opinion. It's maybe a little controversial. It tells personal stories. Some people might hate it and unsubscribe immediately, but the people who love it will share it with 10 friends. The interesting flaws create more conversation than boring perfection ever could.
So it's about having those sharp edges we talked about. Permission to be imperfect, as long as you're interesting.
Yes, spending years perfecting something that no one is going to talk about is a form of failure. Excellence without remarkability is just invisible.
And that leads perfectly into the final operational principle that ties all of this together. Principle 5, design the product to be remarkable.
This is the big shift. Most businesses create a product, and then they try to figure out how to market it. Godin says, no. The product is the marketing.
You can't bolt on remarkability later. You can't paint a brown cow purple and expect it to work.
Exactly. It has to be baked into the DNA from day one. The question during the design process can't just be, what features does it need? It has to be, what would make this worth talking about?
Let's use a meal delivery service. The traditional design focuses on good food, good logistics. It's very good.
But the remarkable design thinks about the unboxing experience. Maybe the packaging is so beautiful and unique, it's basically designed to be photographed. Maybe every meal comes with a handwritten note from the chef telling the story of one ingredient.
So the virality is built right in.
It's inherent. Or for a software tool, maybe you include one quirky, delightful feature that has no purpose other than to make people smile and share a screenshot of it. That feature is marketing.
If you ignore this, you're always playing catch-up. You launch a normal product and then desperately try to push it uphill with advertising, while your remarkable competitor is just coasting downhill on word of mouth.
It's an almost unfair advantage. If you have to keep explaining why your product is special, you've probably already lost the battle.
So that's the framework. It's a total mindset shift away from interrupting people and toward earning their attention in conversation.
It really is.
Okay, so for you listening, here's the immediate action plan you can take away from this. It'll take maybe 10 minutes.
First step, just write down what your product or service is. Be honest. Second, ask yourself this question. Would someone actually interrupt a dinner conversation to tell a friend about this?
And if the answer is a hard no, that's okay. That's your starting point.
Then third, brainstorm 3 wild, unfiltered ideas to make it remarkable. Don't worry about budget or logistics. Just get weird with it.
And the final step, and this is the key, pick the idea on that list that both excites you and scares you just a little bit.
That fear, that little bit of, ooh, I don't know if we can pull this off. That's usually where the purple cow is hiding. That's the path.
That's the path. Because, and this is the core message, sustainable growth starts inside the product, not in the ad campaign.
And if there's just one thing you take away from this whole deep dive, let it be this warning from Godin. Safe is risky, boring is dangerous, and very good is the opposite of success.
In a world of infinite choice, being invisible is the same as being non-existent. So stop trying to perfect your advertising. Start trying to perfect your remarkability. The purple cow doesn't need a billboard. It gets noticed just by being.